Hi guys, it's Nicole and I have another video today from the 6x6 paper pad series sketch bundle. This is offered from Scrapbook Generation and there is a link below in the description box for where you can find this. I am part of the Facebook group, but I've kind of not been going on there and checking things. Mostly just I'm just haven't really been on Facebook in general. I've kind of been trying to be off of it for a little bit. There's just too much going on. And I really just kind of wanted to sit down and focus and try to get myself caught up. And when I say caught up, I don't really mean like, caught up into real time of where the group is, mostly just getting back into actually scrapbooking. And I actually managed to get most of this layout done the same day that I did the previous one, the one about trading in my car. And I think I had like 2 solid days where I just was doing a lot of scrapbooking and a lot of video chatting with friends, and it was just much needed. And while I was getting things done, I would say that these ones aren't necessarily my favorite layouts. I think that I'm happy with where they are. I think like at the beginning of the sketches, I was taking 3 or 4 days to do a layout, and I was doing all kinds of things that just took a lot of time. And now I'm like, I just want to get them done. I want to just use easy items. And when I feel inspired to kind of go above and beyond, I'll go back to going above and beyond. I think you really got to go with the mood that you're in. So for this one, oh shoot, I already put things away. Anyways, this is last year's Doodlebug Christmas line. I bought it from my local store, brought it home, completely forgot about it until it was time to start matching up 6x6 pads to this class. And I remembered that I had this one. And because this was a more recent purchase of a 6x6 pad, I had made sure that I picked up, I think I bought both packs of die cuts, which to me that's super expensive, but I may have caught them on a sale. And I bought the 6x12 chipboard stickers, and then I'm not sure what they're called. I'll look them up and link them. It's like the little bit smaller set of stickers where you get 2 sheets, but they have a white border around them instead of being cut up against the image. I want to say they call them like icons or something like that, but I can't remember off the top of my head. So again, I like to figure out where my photos and my paper are going and get those attached to my page. And then from there, I can kind of figure out where I'm going to embellish, if I'm going to stitch, that type of stuff. Every once in a while I'll do it where I will kind of lay everything out before I attach anything. But 9 times out of 10, it drives me nuts, and I just want the paper and the photos to be secured to the layout. One of my favorite things about the Doodlebug 6x6 pads, especially in the last year or two, and even the newest 4th of July one, they are shrinking the cut aparts down into a 6x6 size, which I absolutely love because it basically gives you built-in embellishments that you can just kind of cut yourself. And for me, I specifically like that because a lot of the die cuts and the stickers are more like icon shapes and images and little people and things like that. But I still like to be able to have something like these tags, or even just like the 3x4s being shrunk down to a smaller size. I like something that I can kind of use as a base to start building a cluster on top of, or even just something to anchor my title, or I don't know. I like having not just all of the images. I like having something that's a little bit more basic going on. Now I decided that I was going to go ahead and stitch around the 6 3x3 squares, which was depicted on Allison's sketch. Okay, I just completely confused myself because I thought that I lost some frames, because right here, this looks like my layout is pretty much done. This is just the die cuts sitting there. I basically turned off my camera while I did the stitching, so I didn't really record that. It's just kind of a more tedious thing. I've shared it in other videos. Allison has a whole video dedicated to stitching on layouts. So I must have already cut, or I actually didn't cut it out of the video. I just didn't record that part. But I stitched with just like a khaki colored thread. I would have gone with white, but that pattern in the lower right is like a multicolor confetti circle pattern on white paper, and the white thread wouldn't have showed up. So I specifically picked a color that was going to show up, but was also still going to be somewhat neutral. So I just grabbed a tan color. I already put it away. Otherwise, I would tell you what color of DMC it is for those of you that actually have like DMC collections and care. I just kind of grabbed one. So what I ended up doing was I played around with the die cuts before I went to bed, figured out where I liked them, and just took a picture of it so that when I came back the next day, I could kind of reevaluate what I thought I liked the night before, and I did, so I kept that. Now, I took the back side of one of the patterns that I cut the 3x3 square with to do the red and white like candy stripe trim is going to go across the top of the photos that are on the background. And then I'm using these Abigail font stickers that are also from Doodlebug. I picked these up when I went to the Create Crop in Missouri that Scrapbook Generation put on. These, and there was another font, the tall and skinny one. I think it's just called Skinny. They came out like right before that crop. So I like ended up digging through a box on the floor because they hadn't put them out yet, and got like pretty much, I think, every color that was available. It was probably like the biggest purchase I made was those alphabets, but I love them. And I like that they're just like a good rainbow color. And then I had these, the super old, like teeny type ones that I'm just going to use the circles to do the word hour. And I don't know if I've told you guys this in a video, but I was on a video chat with a friend, and she was saying that she has a hard time using these. And I know I've mentioned before that I specifically prefer them with a little bit of foam adhesive behind them. I think it just helps because they're so small. Sometimes I will put the square ones flat, but the circle ones especially, I like them popped up. And also when I'm mixing letter stickers for a font, I like using the small circle letters and the small square letters for things like and, the, a, on, of, our, like those small words. The words that are more important, like trimming and tree, are the ones that I want emphasized in a bigger and sometimes brighter color letter. So I hope that makes sense. It's a little early for me to be doing a voiceover. But so again, my phone's off to the side, but I did pull the photo up so that I could just kind of use it as reference of where I had things and where I liked them. And I basically just decided to make a cluster on top of my photo, and it kind of ended up that way just because some of the die cuts that I was wanting to use were already in somewhat of an arch shape to begin with. And so that kind of just made it be where on top of the photo was the only place it was going to work. I pulled out some Bella Boulevard stickers. I, for whatever reason, have 2 sheets of a Christmas one. And so I was able to use the same border sticker to go across the layout underneath the photo blocks instead of the pattern paper that is depicted on the sketch. And she's got some stitching over in the journaling area on the sketch. I decided to go ahead and leave that off. I was just going to kind of keep it simple over here. Again, I'm using those tags that I cut apart just as like an area for me to build my cluster on top of. It's just a personal preference that I like. And I did go ahead and poke holes in them. I didn't tie any thread or anything through them. I just I like the look of them with the hole punched out better. And the sketch itself depicts 5 photos. So there's 4 vertical 4x6 photos and a horizontal 4x3 photo. I, again, do just sort of my easiest swap of adding more photos, of taking that 4x6 area and putting 2 3x4s on it. And then I even squeezed in a little like 1.5 by 2.5 inch photo all the way over on the left. I just had an extra one, and with the design being so linear and the photo not being square, like I think the 2x2 ones are easier to have kind of popping up out of your photo arrangement. The little skinny, tall, or horizontal ones, I personally just don't like them popping up out of the collage. So I try to just tuck them somewhere within the photos. But other than that, I did pretty much stick close to the sketch. My journaling strips are a lot longer than the ones that she depicted, but again, I basically figure out the area that I have. So this area was a little bit less than 2 inches. So I go into my Word program and I squeeze the ruler on the top to give myself less than 2 inches to type within. And that's how I keep my strips so that they don't get too wide. And then from here, I just kind of added some more of these little yellow, like sparkle looking stickers. I had used the die cut version of these over on the left. And I just was kind of taking a last minute look through everything to see if there was anything else that I wanted to add. Went through the Bella Boulevard one and looked to see if there was anything on there that I felt like was going to work. And I did find this cute little just red sticker that basically, I think it says Family Traditions. And I tend to mix Doodlebug and Bella Boulevard together a lot. They use a similar color palette, so it's a lot easier to pull like labels and alphabets from either one to go mix with the other. And I think it was definitely a like meant to be type thing that I'm pretty sure Bella Boulevard or Doodlebug is now sort of helping Bella Boulevard with their production and their collections and stuff. So to me, it just makes sense because their stuff has matched for years. So the last thing that I did was go ahead and make sure that I stamp the date on here so that I can go ahead and file it in my trays of albums that need to go into layouts. So here's the completed layout and a couple detail images of the different areas on the layout. And at this point, I have one more layout that I need to edit the video for, but I am currently working on sketch number 9. So I will be back probably in another day or two with the next video. Bye.